A few years ago, I made a post on Facebook. I was a little blown away by the reaction. It received probably over 2,000 shares and over 400 comments. I made the post about motherhood and how no one can do this alone. And specifically, I used the Proverbs 31 woman as an example because in our Bible, in Proverbs 31, it tells about a woman who is honored by her family. They love her. She is a businesswoman. She does this, she does that. She takes care of her family. She's in the field. She's doing all these things, and her character is immaculate. She's wise. She's revered, and it's something that we all aspire to. However, we often forget verse 15. This woman had help. She didn't do it on her own, and neither can you or I. And so this principle of help, this principle of seeing who else can support you in the work that you're doing is vital. And it's a missing conversation we're not having in child welfare today. So when I was in child welfare as an administrator, I was responsible for leading a region of over 400 employees across 5 different counties. Every single day was different, from federal, state, and local policy expectations and implementation meetings to the physical buildings in these 5 different counties, like leaky roofs and things not working and the air or the heat. It was always a thing. And client and partner relationships and development, and then managing internal morale and staffing issues. You literally never knew what you were going to get. But I really love this work because it was an entirely new and different perspective of social services and child welfare that I never experienced as an attorney in the courtroom. However, my least favorite part of working for the state child welfare agency was staffing, and specifically staffing challenges. It was a predictable cycle of a new worker coming to the agency and so excited to help. And then the reality sunk in that helping can be hard, and helping can be hard in organizations. And it's often complicated. So it sunk in that although, for instance, there are recommended caseloads, the truth is that when the family comes through the front door into the attention of the agency, that the agency has a legal responsibility to respond in a way, right? It's not the same way, but we have a responsibility to respond. So there is no, I'm so sorry, I'm actually at my recommended caseload, so I can't take this new family that you're trying to assign to. It doesn't work like that. So what happens is folks see this, they see the pace, they see it never loosening, like never lifting, and they get burnt out. And so the agency spends hours of time and resources training and coaching workers who are secretly thinking to themselves, there is no way that I'm staying. And so like clockwork, after about a year, they leave. And some folks have said that, well, this is just the way that people are now. They don't stay in jobs for any length of time. Once they see and find greener pastures, they leave. Maybe for some, but not for all. People will stay when they are treated well, compensated fairly, they know they're making a difference, and they are supported in their work. And if one of these is not present, we begin to feel stuck and dissatisfied, used and abused, and burnout begins to call people's names. I've dealt with these 4 principles I've outlined above, but the one that I really focus on now is how can we support people doing the work with families? If the work of families was simple, our own families would have no issues and no problems. Families are complex, and adding another layer of the way our society has structured reporting allegations of abuse and neglect, Essentially, everybody gets an opinion, everyone gets access to make this report, and only a few are required by law to address the alleged issue. Mandated reporters are scared into reporting at times issues that are simply resources, right? Money can solve this. And I'm not really blaming anyone, but the truth is there isn't a deep level of accountability and immersive training for mandated reporters outside of a 10 to 15 minute presentation once a year. And maybe it's PowerPoint, maybe. It blows my mind that people have the capability to change a family's life and they've received 10 to 15 minutes of instruction. Then they lean heavily on that one social worker in their job. It's actually a little scary. Families deserve more time for mandated reporters and those that are calling the hotline to understand the difference, for example, between poverty and neglect. Professionals need to be aware of the impact of foster care. Professionals who work with families need to remember they can offer support to families as well. Stop it. I'm not talking about the extreme child abuse cases because although it gets most of the attention in the media, that's not what makes up most of the situations that child welfare workers and families are dealing with. All right? So, and all that getting understanding. So we're on the same page. There are 10 systems that are involved in the family and child welfare ecosystem. Some of them know it, some of them don't. Some of these systems touch the child welfare world, and others are deeply involved in it, but most of them have one thing in common. They are very rarely in the same room when we talk about foster care and child welfare. It's been made to feel as if it's someone else's job to do the work with families. But the people who stay working with families and stay in the profession of child welfare are those who see the big picture and connect well with others. It's why I'm so excited about the 360-degree framework and map. We provide an interactive training that introduces the 10 systems, the Joy Assessment, and the Syncing webinar series. Workers need to see the big picture. We have to infuse joy in the process, and people need to know how to simply navigate the child welfare system. That's it. That's what we do, and that's how we help. We take organizations from isolation and burnout to connected, because when you try to do it on your own, you fizzle out. This principle of seeing who else can help, who else should be in the room, who else we should be making connections with, it's a conversation that is vital in child welfare and it's missing in child welfare today. So if you're interested in learning more about the 10 system framework, the Joy Assessment, and the Syncing webinar series, I am inviting you to join an upcoming informational session I'm hosting on Thursday, May 7th at 11 a.m. Central Time. The link to register will be in the show notes. The burnout and isolation cycle is loud in child welfare. Let's make connection and simplifying the system louder.